It's decision day. It's decision day. As a finger. Okay, see, Rock, I see you over there with your side at. I see you.
It's
His
decision
Bills
day.
hat.
OMG, family, listen.
Was it everything you expected?
Yep.
It was, really.
Decision day, married at first sight. And yeah, let's just get right into it. We're going right down the line, just like they did. We're going right down the line. Hey, Shahida.
What did you have from Merlin Gill?
Wait, no, can I say my highs first to my babies?
Say hello.
Hi, Shahida.
You want to get into it?
I said, but first, hi, Shahida. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Tanya. Hi, Chris. What you eating? Are those sweet potato fries?
But they're not crunchy. They're flimsy. I don't like flimsy fries. I want crispy, crunchy fries.
The best fries are red potatoes because they're soft. Oh my God, the best. Anyway.
All right. So we are going straight down the line like the Decision Day did on the episode last night. We're going to start with Gil and Merla.
And I'm going to start, before we get into it, I'm going to give what the percentages are.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay. So last week, Chris gave Merla at 85 saying yes. He gave Gil an 80 to say yes. I gave them both a 90. Merla and Gil a 90. Tanya, you gave Gil a 50. And you gave Merla a 0 to say yes. Were you surprised that she said yes?
Yes.
Tanya, you have not been paying attention to that woman's happiness. You are paying attention to that little bit that Gil said. And I think a lot of people are like, he's always on it. We're missing a lot. When she talks about him, she's extremely happy. He makes her happy.
Of course he makes her happy. But in this Decision Day, I mean, Pastor Cal was like, where's your ring? Like, she went in. She was like,
she was shitty from the beginning.
Let me finish. Where's your ring? It was the where's your ring? She hated the ring, number one. Then when they asked her about what was the best part of your wedding, and she was like, none of it. It was terrible. And Gil looked at her. I just knew she was going to say no. I thought that, you know what? Let me backtrack. I thought that she was going to say yes. And I thought that Gil was going to be the one to be like, nah, I'm out. I can't live like this.
That's why.
Well, they fucked once. They consummated it once, literally like a week before Decision Day.
No, they were 2 weeks before, and I don't think it was just one time. I
don't think it was when they consummated it on 2 weeks ago, but they've been fucking ever since.
Why made you think that they only had sex one time?
Because that's what Gil said in the Decision Day. We consummated the relationship of the marriage
2 weeks ago.
That means it's the first time, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that they only had sex one time. But I mean, she came out and she was shitty. Mm-hmm. The whole thing about the wedding, whole thing about the ring,
She was Merla. That's what she was. She wasn't shitty. She was Merla.
I think she was being a little extra shitty, though.
No, I don't think so. I agree with Chris. I think she was just being herself. And
that's how she is.
And then when she was talking about the wedding, which I felt bad for Gil on that one. And then when Viviana was like, were we wrong? And she's like, yes.
What is she wearing again? Viviana. And why does Merla?
What was Merla wearing?
What was Merla wearing, and who did Merla's makeup?
So bad?
Because her eyeshadow looked like she had a 2-year-old do her eyeshadow.
I didn't realize that Gil was marrying a raccoon.
Thank you. But listen, all I'm saying is I'm not surprised. Let me just say this. I thought that Merla was gonna. Did I? I thought that Merla was going to say yes and Gil was going to say no.
You said
No,
Merla
you
was
said
saying
the
no.
opposite. You
Oh,
thought
okay.
Merla was going to say no.
Yeah. I'm so confused right now with this whole thing. This whole episode's got me fucked up. Yeah, I don't know what to say about them too. I'm happy that they made it, but I don't see them making it.
Go,
I don't see
Shahida.
them
Go
being
ahead.
together. Go ahead, Shahida.
It was predictable to me, those two, what they were saying. We all know what Gil's issue is, and the reason, with how she shits on things. And that's why I say I think she was being a little extra to the professional. She showed no class in those moments. I mean, there is a time to be like brutally honest about something, but that wasn't the time. Talking about your wedding, talking about your, how shitty you thought your ring was. That was awful, and again, that just shows that she doesn't think about anybody's feelings. Now, with that said, I do see that she has tried to change some for him, trying to temper it down, but she really showed her ass last night. But she's happy with him. I mean, he makes her glow. She might love those Louis and she may love all this, high-end stuff and money, but he makes her glow.
And let's not be remiss in the fact that she said all that shit last night. But when he got to say his, speak his truth, he literally looked at her and was like, I'm in love with you. When he said that, I felt that shit right in my gut. Like she didn't care. She didn't say that
to it for a while.
But he just said to her, I'm in love with you. And the way he said it, I was like, oh, damn. He means that shit.
Because that's why.
That's why, because I guess she
waited all that time.
I guess she gives good head and good pussy.
He's waiting all that time for that. He was waiting all.
Now he's nutted and now he's sprung. But the way he said it, that shit, I was swooning. When he looked at her and said that shit, I was like, why am I single? Why am I here by myself?
And I know you got moist when you saw the previews.
I sure did. I was moist. I want to go back to Texas and claim my meat.
You saw that new look, right?
I love that new look. What did I say? Hashtag. I'm gonna be like Paris Hilton. Hashtag beards and biceps. When Paris Hilton back in the day was like, that's hot, and she trademarked that shit, I'm trademarking that shit. Beards and biceps. Oof.
Looking all swarthy. So
there was no surprises. No surprises there.
I wasn't surprised.
You were surprised because she said 0.
Yeah, I did, but okay.
I'm in love with you is not 50. That is 80, 90. He's like, I love you. Despite all you being this, that, and that, I love you.
You right.
She's like, I love you. I love him too. He's the greatest man I've ever fucking known. Because he's the only one who can deal with you, who has the patience enough to deal with your ass.
And then
you better not let him go.
Too, everybody's saying like he's constantly shitting on her. I think it might be editing too. Like I said, we don't see them a lot, and also she might not have that much to complain about him. The only issue she has with him is him wanting to control her money. That is the only thing. Everything else she's happy with. She even fell in love with the goddamn dog. Yeah. She likes that man.
Oh, no, she does not like him. She loves him. Because remember at the end, when she's like, when they were, communicating with each other, and she's like, babies within a year. And he's like, oh, well, they're pushing out. She's like, no, within a year. And I'm like, well, what the fuck, bitch? You want to have all this money and have this kind of lifestyle, but you want to procreate with this motherfucker within a year. He ain't making but what, $30,000 a year, $35,000 a year. That we saw on the internet. I mean, I'm not saying that's true, but that's what I saw on the internet.
You're making only $30,000 a year.
30,000 as a fireman?
As a
Well,
fireman?
yeah, because they do part-time, right? They're like part-time.
He is a volunteer firefighter. I shouldn't say volunteer. He's like a community firefighter. He's not like a full-fledged firefighter. If you look at if you go back and look at his uniform and what it says, it doesn't say that he's a Houston firefighter like HFD. It says like some community firefighter, which leads me to believe that he's like a community firefighter. Where it's like a volunteer type of thing. Chris, where the hell you at, bro?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but we can't. Now we can see you.
You can?
Well, we can't see
Well,
your body,
we can see your house, but we can't see your ass.
Yeah, anyway, it says I'm frozen for some reason.
But you keep cooking back and forth.
No, I'm in front of the camera right now.
Are you really?
Yeah, that's what I keep trying to say.
Well, we see your house. Oh, we see your whole house where you usually sit.
Exactly. I'm sitting right in front of it right now.
There's a ghost up in this bitch. You better log out and log back in. We'll talk. We'll keep me and Shahida will keep talking about
that is so funny.
That was crazy. So, okay. Can we get back as women? Merla's makeup was just all messed up. She had that doo-doo brown eyeshadow on her eyelids, and I was just like, and it wasn't even like smooth. It was just like all over the place.
I was like, yeah. I mean, Bow's makeup, when she gets it done, she looks nice all the time. So she needed to go to her girl.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got you back, Chris. Now we got black screen.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that.
Oh, what the heck?
What the hell? Your Wi-Fi's off. Oh, he's out again. All right, everybody. Look, here's what we're going to do.
We'll have to edit that out.
I don't know how to edit that out. So we're going to add him back.
And it's still
again. I don't care. Well, let's keep going because it is the decision day. And when Chris comes back, we'll add him in. But we're done with Merla and Gil. Unless you had something else to say, Shahida.
No, not really. I think I saw a lot of posts last night really going in on Gil. And he's not my favorite. The only reason The only reason I say that I think that we are seeing just one side of their relationship. They were not, on a lot. So I don't think all the shit that he's getting about him always constantly talking down to her, I don't think that's actually accurate because I really don't think that she would stand for that.
I don't think he talks down to her.
But people seem to think that he had the last few weeks.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He was just.
Tanya said it last week that
I don't think he's talking down to her. I think he's just telling her about herself. He's not saying
she acknowledges those things too.
He's not saying anything isn't true.
But see, here's the thing. I think he was like I said last week. He shitted on her last week. Because at the end of the day, look, she is who she is. But I give Merla her props. She works hard for her money. She does what she does. Why should she have to change herself and what she wants? Because she's with a man that doesn't make a lot of money.
But it's not even about it's about.
He's not talking about money though. He's talking about how she treats people and how she talks to people and how she shits on experiences and things that other people would just like maybe.
But it is about money. But it is about money too. It's both. It's both. He's shitting on her about, and I agree with him on that when she's all negative Nancy. She's not okay with the way that a certain place looks. She doesn't want to be around people. She doesn't like being around people, basically. But when it comes to the money, She is obviously way more successful than he is, or not successful, has way more money than he does that she's worked hard for. And her only issue with him is when he said he could live in a box. And he was like, I didn't say that. That's not what I want to do. And she was like, but yes, you did. And I remember he did say that. I would be happy living in a box. Money is not my motivation. But here's the thing.
He said he doesn't need it. That's the difference. He doesn't need it. She needs it. That's the difference.
Like he said, he still wants to provide nice things for his wife and his family. So him alone, yeah, he can live in a frat house probably and be happy, him alone. But that's not what he wants for his wife and his family. And when he said that to her, he's just basically saying, I don't need all the glamour. You need the glamour. And he's willing to do that for her. What I'm saying is he criticizes her more on how she treats people, her behavior, not so much her money. And then what did she go and do? The first 10 seconds of decision day, she went and shat on everything. That was rude. That was rude.
Yeah, that was rude. She shat on the wedding. She shat on the ring. Yeah, she shat on everything.
So that's the stuff. That's what he doesn't like about her, and that's what he kept emphasizing in the last few weeks. And I get it. That's all we saw. But I honestly feel that maybe we didn't see anything from her because she didn't have shit to complain about.
And I think maybe we didn't see shit on her because it's leading me to believe that we didn't see a whole lot because she might have shut that shit down and was like, because you know how she is. She's like, I don't want nobody in my business. I don't want to meet nobody. I want to do this. I think she might have shut that shit down.
Tanya, you know that they signed a contract to be on that show. And if they choose to be in their apartment, then they're going to be in their apartment. You have certain obligations to film. I just feel that they didn't have enough excitement in their relationship to have more, because all the other couples, they had more drama than Gil and Merla. They had drama. They didn't.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But here's the thing. They're staying married. They agreed to be married, and I was stunned. But let's move on. Do you have something to say?
How can you be stunned? I don't know how you can be stunned. She hit and I were both 80, 90%. We both knew that was going to happen. You gave Merla a 0, not even a 50.
That's why I'm stunned.
Like,
but that's why I'm stunned. Because I just knew that she was going to be like, I want a divorce. Or I thought Gil would say he wanted a divorce. Because they let her go first. And I was like, ooh, Gil, come on, daddy. Tell her you don't want to be married no more. And then when he fucking pulled out, I'm in love with you, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. I was stunned.
My sister just asked me what her prediction, what my prediction's right. And I just asked her if she wanted to come in and be a guest star.
Tell her, come on now.
We'll see.
So next is Johnny and Bao.
This
go ahead, Bao.
Was my favorite motherfucking couple of the decision day. Thank you. Tell Vanessa if she wants to come on, log in. I'll send her the link. Or you can send her the link.
Johnny's a dick. Still.
And again, he's such a manipulator and a liar. Because all the things that he was saying, and I was really upset with Dr. Pepper, Pastor Cal, and Dr. Viviana. Nobody lit into his ass.
Can I just say one thing? Because I'm looking at my notes. I'm looking at my phone right now. Looking at my notes. Can we just, all right, Married at First Sight Nation, can we just rethink the word best friend? This is the only thing I got out of that. Because here's my thing. Miss Sarah, Bao's best friend, look, I have a best friend, but my circle is small with my friends. And I can be honest with everybody right now. people that know me that I include in my circle, if somebody comes talking about me out of pocket, y'all got my back because I got y'all's back. If you don't, oh, we're done. So we got to rethink the word best friend. The fact that
Bao needs to.
Bao was still talking about, this is my best friend and this, and I'm like, bitch, I was screaming at the TV. I'm like, bitch, that's not your best friend. She never was. All right, so I'm done here on that.
Yeah, I did say that in my notes too. Why is she still claiming this woman as her best friend? Now the thing is from the very beginning, Johnny came out and he gave that shitty speech that it was up and down, but he wanted to be a better person. I was shocked that he said yes. I was very shocked that he said yes. I kind of felt that he would, that there was a chance, but I gave him, a small percentage. I think last week.
What was I? I think I gave them 0. Both 0. My shit was all fucked up.
Johnny a 35 that he would say yes. And he gave a 65 that Bao would say yes. Tanya, you gave Johnny a 10% that he would say yes, and a 5% that Bao would say yes.
Okay, so I'm still in the game.
I gave Johnny 5% that he would say yes, and Bao 10%. So it was a little. What,
so
sir?
Chris won this one. So Chris won this round. Okay, Chris. Hi, Jesus.
I was shocked that he said yes, though.
But he said yes. You know why? You know why he said yes?
For the cameras?
No.
He doesn't want to be the bad guy.
Nope. I think he said yes. I think he said yes because remember last week, Bao was like, if he says no, then we're done. Like she made that shit very clear last week's episode.
But he don't
when
care
they all
about
got together
her.
and was like, huh?
You're right.
He don't care about her.
I know, but he kept saying at the end of the episode of last week when she said when they were all together, and she's like, if he says she didn't say with regard to Johnny, but she was like, if I hear a no, then I'm out, I'm gone. And Johnny had his little confessional and was like, well, I get that's something I need to think about. And I think that weighed on Johnny. And that's why Johnny said, I want to stay married. But we already knew Bao. I am so glad this was I got a boner on this one because when Bao had her moment and she's like, yeah, I'm done. I don't want to be married to you anymore. And Johnny was all deflated and I was like, yeah.
Johnny does not want to seem like the bad guy.
That's more the reason.
That's
why
his only reason.
He doesn't give a fuck
to be like,
about
I'm
her.
willing to try, and you're not willing to try. So okay, well, I guess so. I mean, I'm willing to try, but motherfucker, you shit on her. Now you want to talk about shitting? That's shitting. Johnny shit on her. Gil was not shitting on Merla. She was commenting about how Merla is. Johnny shit on her, saying you're not attractive. You're boring. Your snoring sucks. I don't want to take you to my family thing. I don't want to do this with you. You're annoying. All that shit.
No.
All of it.
Why are you saying
Gil,
no?
wait, no. Gil shitted on Merla. Johnny, as I've been saying all this time, Johnny verbally abused her ass. There's two different things. That's two different things there. Johnny verbally abused fucking Bao's ass. When you saw Bao from the wedding up until decision day, and you saw all the episodes that we all watched, here's Bao. Bao was all into herself, and then Bao sits there on decision day, and she's still slumped over, and she's just like, Bao was a fucking verbally abused person. And the fact that Married at First Sight let that shit happen, I'm still disturbed over that. But whatever.
I felt like I kind of
that was abuse.
Disagree. Oh yeah, it was. It was definitely a form of abuse. I feel like he shitted on her because he definitely doesn't like anybody kind of like telling him anything about himself. He can't take any type of criticism. He wants to be the one who is right all the time. Any little bit of pushback that she gave him, he was storming off. And when he said that, you know, he didn't run in this marriage, and she looked at him like, you ran all the time, every situation. And in his comeback was, I never yelled at you, I never raised my voice at you, but the things that you said. And this is why I was disappointed with the professionals, because none of them addressed the things that he said to her. Dr. Pepper said, well, could you explain to us why you went to her friend? Who cares? What about the way he spoke to her? What about the things that he said to her in front of you all? You know, and to go to your point, Tanya, yeah, I mean, we all saw him shit and verbally abuse her. Not one professional dealt with that.
Nope.
And I thought that was shitty on them.
Yep.
But I was very proud of
the fact that Pastor Cal never said nothing about that. I wanted one of the three to call him on his bullshit.
Not one of them did.
And they never did. But let me just say, I don't know if y'all peeped this, Married at First Sight family, but at the end, after Bao said, I don't want to be married to you anywhere, I want a divorce. When Bao got on the elevator, did y'all peep when she turned around and had that smirk on her face? Oh, Bao was all in her shit. If you don't know, go rewind it and watch that shit. Yeah, Bao legit turned around, got on the elevator, and turned around and had this look like, fuck all your couches.
Yeah, they were horrible. And that was horrible. And for the next couple, we jump into Brett and Ryan. But before I give out the percentages, the professionals got all in Ryan's ass. All three of them had something to say. They didn't have shit to say.
That's in my notes, where Dr. Pepper went straight to the nutsack.
All three of them said something about his behavior, and not one addressed Johnny's. But anyway, all right. So Chris, you gave Brett a 15%. You gave Ryan a 10%. Me and Tanya both gave zeros.
At least I'm winning right now.
Because that was an easy one. One.
Because it was straight and to the point. It was like straight to the point.
The question was Dr. Pepper. How do you go into a dating app when you're still married?
Yeah.
Right.
That was the very first question. And they did not get off of it.
No. And I think everybody in the country knew that they were not going to stay married. And I think obviously they knew it, because when they walked off, I assess shit after the fact. And as they were walking out, they walked out together, because you noticed when they decided they were not going to be married anymore, like Pastor Cal kept looking at Ryan and was like, okay, you can go. You can go. The elevator's over there. You can go. And he wasn't leaving. And him and Brett left together, and Brett gives him a little shove on his shoulders, and they're laughing. And I'm like, okay, they're friends. They're just buddies. They're going to be friends. They'll be besties, but they're just not a couple.
I like what he said about, it was stupid, but I still like that he acknowledged it. He's like, I'm 35 years old. I have a type. And people do have a type. I mean, regardless. But Dr. Pepper came back and said to him, but you've been dating your type all this time, and it still hasn't worked for you. So maybe you should try something different. If you dated as many women as you say that you've dated, and they're your type, and I'm 100% positive that there were more than several women that wanted to marry him. So what's the problem? Him.
Yeah. It's Ryan. Ryan's got issues. Ryan doesn't know how to communicate. I mean, we saw it this whole season with his family, his friends. Everybody has been telling everybody that Ryan doesn't know how to communicate. I don't know what to say at this point. I am not dating a man at this age in my life, or after the age of 30, and now we're in our 50s, I ain't dating any man that doesn't have the nutsack to communicate with me and tell me how he's feeling. What am I doing wrong? What do I need to do better? Let's just have it. Let's just hash it out. If you can't give me that dialogue, we ain't together. We're done here. So,
and I guess some of his issue was not wanting to hurt her feelings, but he's not mature enough to realize that cutting her off, the communication hurts 10 times worse than just being honest and letting her go about it.
But he was all teeth when that shit was over and they got on that elevator. Listen, I peeped all that shit too. And when they was walking away, he turned around and he was like, I was like, you happy as fuck now. Now you're going to go find your little blonde-haired, blue-eyed Texas bitch that ain't going to fuck with you because you ain't going to be able to communicate ever. And you're going to be single for the rest of your natural life. And Brett, what is it? What's her name? Brett? Yeah. Brett is going to be your BFF. She's going to be your new wing woman until you decide that you want to be her friend.
Yeah, I don't know about that either.
No, right. Well, listen, Brett never fucking pulled her card when Pastor Cal was like, you need to go tell him when did you lose interest in me? And she didn't have the nutsack to say that to him.
But at a point, she didn't have to, because then she had the conversation with his sister-in-law. It doesn't matter when you lost interest. The fact is, I know you did. And you know what? And then she shut him off.
Yeah, but she should have asked him.
Why? All he had to do was lie.
Well, he could have lied because she could have used it against him. But then what did he do? He went on a dating app. I am not in the business of being humiliated. I'd much rather confront you with the shit. Either I'm your type or I'm not, and let me walk the fuck away. But what you ain't gonna do, if I'm married to you at first sight, what you're not going to do is humiliate me on national TV and fucking go on a dating website and try to find bitches that are your so-called type that ain't worked in the past. But here we are. No.
I don't think
he should have handled that shit when she should have.
Her. I think if I like the way Brett kind of handled her situation. I felt like once she knew that it was done, she didn't need to have a big conversation. She didn't need to have closure on a relationship that was done before it even got really started. She just shut down. She went through the rest of the shows and did her thing. She didn't have to say anything. I like the way she handled herself.
I did too.
But why would you do that? It's a waste of fucking time. It's a waste of my time. It's time that I'll never get back in my life. Look, if
she had already signed up for it, her time.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't matter. If I signed up for
it's a fucking show. It's a show that you have to go through the whole fucking process.
If you're not into me, I'm moving on. I'm taking myself out of the situation. I'm not going to
let me talk. Let me talk.
No, let me talk.
You've been talking the whole time, Tanya.
No, I haven't been. No, that is foolishness what you're saying right now. Why would we go to the end? Why would we go to decision day?
Because they are in the contract. Remember, they weren't even living together. They did every time they showed up, they were coming in pretty much so separately after the vacation thing. So she really did just step away, but she did she was contracted to do what she did. She stayed in it. I don't see what she could have done differently. She was gonna have to be on the show until the end anyway. What would
really?
Huh?
Really?
Yeah.
Is she required to be? Unless I'm missing something that they need to be on the show until decision day. Because last season and a couple of seasons before, motherfuckers didn't make it to the couch.
Who?
Mindy
and
Zach. Mindy
her.
and Zach.
He left her.
So what? Fucking Ryan left Brett. He didn't like physically leave her, but mentally he left her.
And mentally she left him.
If Brett had a fucking spine, Brett would have been like, fuck this shit. I'm out.
But she did that.
And I'm out.
She had a lot of spine. She handled herself, very well. I don't think she allowed him to disrespect her in any of the situations.
Oh,
she said her piece. She said her piece. He knew he was dead. Yes.
Yes.
Several times.
Yeah.
No.
It was crystal clear to her.
I think when I say she said her piece, you think it has to be her like yelling and being decisive, saying the words that you want her to say. But she kind of sat back and let him. I mean, he looked like the fool, not her.
She sat back. No, in my brain, this is how my brain works. She looked like an idiot because she should have came to him when Pastor Cal said, go back to him and say to him, ask him, when did you check out? And she didn't have the ball sack to ask him that. She went back to him and she was like, on the couch talking to him. And then she let that whole shit go. The fact that Pastor Cal didn't pull her card on decision day and say, when I told you to ask him, when did you check out? Why didn't you ask him, when did you check out?
There's no
it wouldn't have
point
made a
because
difference.
he was done. There's no point of fucking trying to.
Then why go all this way?
Because
I don't like being wasted.
And it's a contract and it's a show, and she's not going to be the fucking one to be like, this motherfucker. The more that she's there, the worse he looks. Because after all the shit he's done, just like when they called him out on the couch, that's exactly. She's sitting there. She was sitting there with a smile on her face, going, "Yep, yep, this motherfucker, yep." Oh, well, yeah, Pastor, go ahead. And he was like this. Yeah, I should have really done that. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I have a type, so and she's like, yeah.
I'm just gonna have to respectfully disagree with you guys because Brett looked like a bitch ass bitch to me on that shit because I'd have fucking been gone weeks ago. Huh?
I don't see that.
I'd have been gone weeks ago. I'm not gonna let you hang me on. I don't give a fuck if there's a contract involved, TV's involved. What you're not gonna do is humiliate me, and I'm not gonna sit here and entertain you when I know that I'm not it for you. I'm out. I'm out this bitch.
Well,
fuck you, Pastor Cal, and Dr. Viviana. I'm out.
But you didn't see her mentally checked out? I mean, you even mentioned it a couple of times.
She mentally checked out, but did she check out? She stayed until decision day. My ass would have been gone. I kept saying, I don't think they're going to make it to decision day. Because I was hoping that Brett would have a sack and say, this isn't working. You're on a dating site and you was matched with somebody. Bro, I got to go. Lifetime, Married at First Sight, all you professionals, I'm out. You're not going to humiliate me on national TV.
Yes, they were not together.
But I didn't sign up for this.
They weren't living in the same place. They weren't even together. He was staying at his home. She had even moved back to her place. Right. They were not even together.
We're going to have to respectfully disagree on this one. Okay. I'm over it on them too.
Okay.
Brett is a bitch ass.
Okay.
Brett should have dropped his ass. Brett should have had her self-respect and walked 2 weeks ago. But we're over that. I'm done.
Makes her look weaker.
Yeah, she looks like a weak ass bitch.
No, yes, she weaker. She walked away.
Yeah, no. I disagree with you on that. She should have walked away.
I definitely don't see her as weak. I respect.
No, in my brain, she's weak. She let it get to this point, and now she had a little say. I don't want to be married anymore. And he's like, yeah, I don't want to be married. And that was the first time that Ryan had a breath of fucking fresh air of relief that he's like, I'm done with this bitch. And Brett looks like a dumbass. That's just me. I would have never let it get to that point if that was me. That's just me. But she let it go.
Zach
I
and
agree with her.
Michaela.
I'm good.
Let's get to Zach and Michaela. This is interesting. All
Zach
right.
is a bitch ass. I'm just gonna say this.
I'm going to read off what we said last week. So that was a 0 from you for Zach, a 0 from you for Michaela. Chris, 45 for Zach, 70 for Michaela. I gave Zach 0 and 70 for Michaela. So I gave this, and I gave Michaela a 70.
What did I give Michaela?
0.
And did I give Zach a 0 too?
Yeah, both of them
All right,
0.
so I was right on Zach.
But who was close to almost being? I told you Zach had feelings.
All right, go ahead, Cat Daddy. Yeah.
No, I was the closest.
What?
Oh no, I said 0 for Zach.
Yeah, 45. I knew he was this far away of saying yes, but saying no, whatever.
Okay, no. Okay, this is the thing with Zach. We all knew that he was going to say no because he said it before. It was like this discussion or whatever. Now, I'm going to say again why I'm disappointed in Zach. 1, because he slept with her knowing that he doesn't want her. Mm-hmm. And 2, he made that speech that totally manipulated her mind to make it sound like she's the best thing. I'm so blessed. And he really fucked her over that night, last night. He really fucked her over. And you could see Michaela just being just so hurt by 1, like I said, that speech. And then 2, she was so anticipating because they had been having sex. You know, he had let everything go, or so it seemed, or whatever, and then did the absolute opposite.
Go ahead, Chris. I'm gonna sit back. I manipulated.
Well, I think it was a bullshit. Well, I think it was on his part. He shouldn't have laid it on so thick with that fucking stupid ass speech of saying, "Oh, you're the best woman since my mother," and shut the fuck up, dude.
Oh my god!
If you're gonna say no, don't fucking give the woman false hope, especially that crazy bitch. Don't give her. You want to talk about confusing a motherfucker? Shit, I was confused about. I was like, is he gonna say? Yes? I was like, he's gonna say yes. Oh, is he gonna say? Because they do the setup of like, oh, it's really rough. Like with Gil, it's been really rough. That's on the other, but yes. And he's like, oh, you're the greatest, whatever. And then he's like, no. It was like, so why even do that? Why even say that? Why even hype her up? Make her crazier. That would make her crazier than anything else. Don't say that shit, dude. If you say no and you don't want to be married to her anymore, just say no and keep it stepping, keep it moving. But don't give you're the greatest woman. I've learned so much. I want to not stay married.
Learn
but
what?
Exactly.
What did you learn? Good. Go, Tanya.
Thank you. Listen, Zach last night showed me every reason why that bitch was turning over ping pong tables, picnic benches, punching holes in the walls, because I was like, this Negro is a classic sociopath. The motherfucker pulled out his fucking note, pulled out his paper, and was reading it to her. And Chris, I agree with you. No man is going to look at a woman and say, you're the best. You are a great woman outside of my mother. And then turn around. Like he literally, I literally was like wiping the tears, like, oh, go ahead. And then he was like, comes to a decision, and she's like, I'd like to make it work. And he's like, no. Classic sociopath. I was fucked up on that one Because I just thought he was going to say, yes, let's work on it. And he's like, no. And
Yeah,
then when Pastor Cal was like, so just so we're clear, by you saying no, we're done here, because I was confused, which I started empathizing with Michaela, because he's like, I want to, I don't want to be married, but let's just date and let's figure it out. And she's like, what the fuck? And Pastor Cal and everybody's like, no, this is not how this works. If you're saying, you can say yes, but yes, I want to stay married to you, but we can take all this 8 weeks off the table and start anew. But what you can't do is say no, but that was classic.
What he did was cruel. It was toxic. It was horrible. I mean, and I think, yeah, I think he's a manipulator, just like Johnny. You know, he tries to use words to make him be the good guy in situations, and like I said, the whole sleeping with her thing, you know, he was all into that. So I can see him wanting to continue a sexual relationship with her, but then be like, but we're not married, we're not dating, we're just doing this until, you know, we figure it out, you know. So he's a classic game player. And
he wanted to make cake and eat it too. He wanted to keep her in the fold, but not be married to her. He wanted to keep her in the fold and still date her and fuck her, but he wanted to have his other cake on the side so he can go out and date other women and fuck other women. Listen, this is why I'm single. I'm good.
And if the rumor about him and Bao is true, Bao, run.
Then Bao's dumb as fuck. If the rumor is true, then Bao is stupid as fuck. Yeah, she deserves everything she gets. I have no sympathy.
Did you watch the preview? Did you see what she said?
Oh, I did. Because I couldn't get away from the preview. When it ended, the preview just went, and I was like, "Oh snap!" And then I saw that shit, and I saw Gil. All I saw was Gil crying with his nice little beard and his biceps. My vagina went a little tweak.
His chest hair, though.
What?
His chest hair was like, there was like a patch here. Did you see his chest hair?
No, because I was too busy looking at his beards and his biceps.
Yeah, literally, it's black. It's a black patch, like a Superman S right here, and nothing else.
I can take care of that.
Go back and look at. I was like, what
you already noticed.
No, I'm not gonna go back and look at it.
He had a little. I'm looking on chest hair. You have chest hair. He had a patch like a little V.
Gil can get it.
Gil.
All right, well, I guess we're done.
Gil, are you talking about
Gil? We're not done. No, we're not done.
Rachel.
We got Rose.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying we're done with Zach and Michaela.
Oh yeah, we're done with Zach and Michaela. They're
stupid. A prediction for Rachel and Jose. Tanya, you gave Rachel a 25. You gave Jose 100. Chris, you gave Rachel 85. You gave Jose 80, and I gave Rachel 85 and Jose 80. So I mean, that was
so I'm on the bottom of the barrel.
A no-brainer pretty much on that one. I wasn't surprised. I was hoping that she would walk away, but she's too happy.
Oh, yeah.
But here's the thing with them two. Did you all notice that? I was like, I made a note of it. I'm like, damn, they rushed them through real quick. Like as soon as it got to Rachel and Jose, it was like they gave their little back spiel of this story. And then when they got to talking, it was like, they only talked about the whole when Jose locked her ass out. And then it was like, it literally was like 3 minutes of that shit. And then it was like, so it's time to make a decision. Do you decide you want to stay married?
Again, with these professionals, because they brought up him locking her out. But no one touched on the fact that he lost his shit over the smallest of things. I mean, it was literally over an argument that she called him your friend's name.
Thank you.
Not
Johnny.
even an ex-lover or anything. That he lost his shit over that. Unless we are missing something in that argument, it just seems to have escalated from that rooftop together and then downstairs. So he lost his shit over that. Rachel, no one brought that up. The reason why he locked her out.
Yeah.
And I thought that was big. And then also, I hope he compromises and I hope he takes you on a goddamn trip to Europe, or
I don't know if that's
not.
gonna happen.
Get ready to see.
Well, we already know that's not going to happen. So let's just cut to the chase. Let's just cut to the chase, because those two were just boring as fuck. That's why they left them at the end. They stayed married. They decided to stay married. And that was the shortest shit that I've ever seen in my life. And then it cuts to commercial, and then we get back to all of them getting together at the little bar and grill. And did y'all peep? I'm like, fucking Zach. They were all sitting at the table, and Zach was just like,
yep, he did not have any reaction. He was just bummed out.
He checked the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, why are you there? Well, I mean, why are you there? And here's Gil again playing Pastor Cal. Lifetime. If you listen in, I'm gonna need y'all to make Gil a new fucking expert, because he asks all the good questions.
With his nosy ass.
With his nosy ass. And I love me some Gil with his juicy booty. I want to be married to Gil. I ain't trying to get married again, but I'll marry Gil right now.
Girl, you would not marry Gil.
No, you already know me, girl. You know I wouldn't. I'd put his ass out in less than 2 days. I'd be like, get out my house. Get out.
So that's it. That's everybody. They were really... The only surprise I had was that with that speech. That was the only surprise I had. Everybody else, because he had me on the fence, because I thought after he did that speech and that he was gonna say yes, but for weeks I just knew that he was gonna say no. But he was really trying to. You know what?
He shocked me, but also Johnny shocked me, because I just knew that Johnny was going to come in there with guns a-blazing, with his whole ass attitude, and be like, I don't want to be married anymore. Even though Bao was like, if you say no, we're done. And I knew he was conflicted, but I just knew he was going to come in and be like, no, I don't want to be married. He was going to do the whole,
never thought
he was going to do the most, but he was going to say, like, I don't want to be married anymore.
I never thought that he was conflicted. I think that he checked out long time ago, and he let her know it. I mean, he verbally expressed that he just really didn't like her. And I don't think he ever came back from those things that he said. He didn't want her, and she knew it. So him saying yes was a little bit of a surprise, because we all know, and I think it's more to what Chris and what you said, was that he was just trying to save face, trying to be the good guy, or not the one that said no. But and the fact that he acts shocked that Bao said no.
Yeah, right.
Sir,
I mean, he was like borderline nauseous about this. Like when she said no, and she was adamant about it. Like, I'm done. And he was just like, oh, I'm sweating.
He just doesn't want to be the bad guy.
Right. He doesn't want to be the bad guy.
That's his whole thing. I tried, but she didn't want it. So,
but you were the bad guy every week.
I know.
Every week. And it still drives me crazy trying to figure out where it went wrong with them, because it was like, bam, every week they were so good, and then all of a sudden he just took a left. I went right. He took a left. I don't understand what happened.
Yeah, no, I don't get it. I don't get it.
He was happy. They had a good sex life. They were playing. I mean,
Oh yeah, they were role playing and everything. Like, who does that? Like, if you're gonna role play and do that crazy sexy shit, those people do that like years in marriages and shit. These motherfuckers just met and they're like getting all into that shit. Like, oh, whatever. If I win, you're gonna do whatever I want in the bedroom tonight. Me personally, I'd be like, I don't really know you that well, so I'm not going to do anything you want in the bedroom.
What's
tonight.
really sad about the whole thing is that they started off really, really good. Remember when she had her arm around him and they took the pillow wall down and he was more into it, and then he just turned or showed his
even
colors.
Ryan said it. He said they were the perfect match. You know, that, you know, all of them saw them as at the beginning, they were the couple that you wanted to emulate.
I think everybody thought that they were going to make it. Their weddings, like I said, their wedding ceremony was the fucking one of the best, I should say, the best wedding ceremony that I've ever seen in the history of Married at First Sight, because of their tradition and their culture and how they embedded all that in there. And I was like, oh, these two gonna make it. Well, shit.
And
you
it was
can
just like one
you
day
can kiss all of our y'all can kiss all of our jumping the brooms goodbye, because our culture's shit. We ain't never making it.
I think too with Johnny, it's like he just woke up one day and just decided, because there was no real reason. He just woke up and decided, I don't like her.
Pretty much.
And she really tried. She really tried.
She did.
I think out of all the women, I saw the growth most in her, then in Merla, and then Rachel. I don't think that those three really grew. I mean, Brett didn't really have the option more so to show much how she is in a relationship, because they just never had one. But those three, they really showed growth, and Bao showed a lot.
All right, so let's get to, I have to be honest, I watched a while, as you guys know, I watched it at like 3:30 this morning, and I didn't have time to grab my remote to turn off the preview to the reunion.
I think we all watched the preview.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say it's safe to say that I think my predictions are going to come true. Shahida, hold on to the predictions, because I said ain't nobody making it. And I have a feeling that the reunion next week ain't but I think all 5 couples are all divorced, or not, maybe not legally divorced, but not together.
I mean, I didn't have high hopes for them staying together after the cameras and stuff are gone. So this was supposedly filmed in August, right?
I don't know.
And that's where all kind of like the rumors and stuff. I think it was filmed in August, and I think it's a 2-parter too. But anyway, it wouldn't surprise me. I would be interested to know what reason, especially with Gil and Merla, why they aren't together. Because this seemed like there was a lot of emotion going on that day. Like he said, I didn't cry and shed a tear the whole time, and here I am now. And then walking up, I'm like, are they teasing us with something like really good between the two of them? Because that was really emotional for him.
Yeah, but I thought the same thing, that maybe he's crying because he's so happy, but then he walked out.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's not good. Yeah, that's
I'm not saying that I think it was because he's happy. I think that they're teasing it in a way that might make us think that. But him walking out, I could see him trying to get himself together if he's like really emotional.
It could be.
But I don't know.
Because of course, with all of the previews, all of this season, it's, it always misleads us that with the editing.
And he just seemed hurt though. He seemed hurt. It didn't seem happy. He seemed hurt.
Yeah, he didn't seem happy. He seemed hurt. And
you see her face?
And then,
As she
and
put
what?
next
Here's
to
the
him.
thing. Here's the thing that led me to believe that maybe he's hurt, and that's why he's crying so much. Is because then it goes to the. Did you all see the cue to Merla is sitting next to Johnny, and Kevin Fraser's like, "Are you guys two together?" Because she was all leaning in on
Oh, like
Johnny.
best friends.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just can't wait to see what happens next week on the reunion.
Yeah, I read rumors that they were dating the entire time, and I'm like, I don't think.
With Johnny and
Well,
Merla?
here's the thing.
Yeah,
Here's the
that's what I
thing.
heard.
I would have never thought that
I don't think
Johnny would be
so.
Merla's type, unless Johnny is sitting on a gang of money. Because Merla, at the end of the day, that's her goal, is to be a millionaire. Unless Johnny is
What?
giving her all this shit, I don't see
I
it.
couldn't imagine her with him because of his personality.
Really?
Because he's a child. He's horrible. If you think Gil shitted on her, eventually the shit that he would shit on her would be 10 times worse.
But she would like that though.
Yeah.
She
probably
would.
would.
Be shitted on by him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
But like I said in the beginning, with Merla, she seems like the type that would be okay with a guy that is like, bitch, you gonna do what I say, and this is how this is. Like, you can make your money.
That guy? He that guy though?
Well, I don't know if he showed his ass with fucking Bow.
With
his verbal abuse.
It'd be interesting. I like to see it. I would really like to. I would hope that Rachel left Jose, but I don't have big high hopes for that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Rachel and Jose, I don't think they're going to make it either. No.
Yeah.
They're not
All
gonna make
right.
it.
That's
We'll
it.
see.
We'll see next week. Yes.
That's a hot spot. We should do that one live.
We should do that one live
Next week.
Oh, but Chris is
next
like,
week.
the time
So we'll
is
look it up. We'll look it up, and we'll figure it out if we can do that shit live all together. Because Chris, you're in Cali, so it might not air live. So we'll see.
He said live.
Well, we'll see everybody. We'll see everybody next week. I thought that this was going to be our last episode of the Married at First Sight, and we can go back to our hot topics. But we got in a whole nother
more.
next week.
Two more.
We got 2. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
because
Part
it's
1 and
split.
part 2.
Mhm.
But we got to do a hot topics though, because I got a whole lot of shit to talk about.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.